you again on a very busy Monday. How is everybody doing out there? I have to sit down because, woo, I'm exhausted. I have had a lot going on today. Whoa. So, what about this? What do we have going on? We have been shopping and it looks like my hair got electrocuted. I wish. Okay, so look, I have here for you the Waterfall Dies. Super fun, super good to see you guys. Hello, Candy. How are you? Hello, Anna. Oh my goodness. Hello, Yvonne. I bet, Yvonne, you've done several of these lovely things before. So this is the Waterfall die. I had special requests from my sweet friend, Miss Lottie. I'm hoping you're out there, Miss Lottie. And I want to a big shout out to my sweet friend Sherry on. It's her birthday today, so hopefully she's doing something super fun. Yeah, I sent her a message and said, please, if you can't craft today, at least feel pretty paper. So, okay, so we have this loveliness here. I love this. Okay, I have not read it. You know that I have already done this before. I've played with waterfall dies before. Here's the die. Okay, and even though I have done them before without the dies, here we had a private little class for my sweet little friends, and we did this little waterfall. See here, there we go. Okay, and there it goes. And I think, do I have also 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So you know, for me, I love to have this in double-sided, really good quality cardstock. Okay, and you kind of just pull on it, and there is your magic on this lovely thing right there. You see that? There's the magic. So the mechanism is just the little slide, what we want to call the waterfall, that works on this little part right there. Okay, of course I put it on a scrapbook because I want it on a scrapbook instead of a card, but this is friendly that you can put it on a card. Hello, Beth Murphy. How are you? How are you doing? So I have dinner in the oven, and I have dishes in the sink. Oh, things are going crazy, and I have to work tomorrow, so let's get to this, okay? Because I want to show you my tips on how to do this. First of all, get some sloppy copy paper out, okay? You want to play around with this with a little sloppy copy paper. If you have good, thick paper, I prefer this than the sloppy copy paper that I was using was really wimpy. So I prefer a nice, bigger, thicker paper for it, okay? And hey, Yvonne, how are you? How's the big move doing? Yes, Yvonne and Yvonne, how's the big move going, right? So let's move over to this part. Now, the other thing that is going to be super important with this is the scoring. The scoring needs to happen for these little tools because they need to be scored really well. So you can see that I scored the top ones, and then I left that last one here so that I can show you. I don't know if you know this part, but let's move it over here. Okay, lovely little impress. Do you know that you can score with your impress? Crease. So it needs to be a really good crease. So I put it on there, sandwich it in. It's kind of like running through a rub-on, right? So it goes through there and it comes back really, really nice, and it's creased, okay? So I like that because for this you need that kind of movement in there, okay? You want that to be really nice and tight, so just send it in through your machine, okay? Because you want it to have that little roll on here, okay? That is hello. I did some sloppy copies and I need tips. Yes, tips. And then decorating tips are huge here, okay? Alrighty, let me move down to the desk so you guys can see. And I also have a huge mess going on my desk because all day long I have been, am I still upside down? Let's wait. I have been working on my class. I will have instructions, cutting instructions, let's say before Friday. Okay, so let me bring this over here to you, and we are going to cut, and I have some already cut. Okay, so here's the die. Okay, you basically need one of each, and I am not using this inner die. They're saying that's the signature card, but I did not use that one. I used one that is bigger. It comes from the scrapbook kit dies from Crop at Home. I want to say this is Crop at Home 1. Yes, and it's the one on the inside. It fits this little piece right there just perfectly. Okay, so I don't, yeah, that one's too small for me. So this one goes here, and let me put this together. You need 4 of those because this is your picture mat, okay? So one of each, and then I am saying really good quality sloppy copy paper. That's what I used here. I think that it works really best if you have that going on. Let's move this over here. So even for mine, this is this one right here, sloppy copy paper. This is Park Lane, and it says 110 pound. So for this, I even doubled up the base, okay? I glued it together, and then I ran it through the machine. So let's go and look at that part here. Here's my 4 pieces. This is what you want to have. What I'm calling the top and the bottom, and then your little rolling mechanism. I don't really understand that piece, but I ran 2 of them because whatever. And then I had this little bracelet. That's what we have there, okay? Now I'm going to show you on my sloppy copy so that you can kind of, so we're gonna do it twice basically. So you can kind of see it on my sloppy copy, and you can see what we have going on again. Okay, so here is the same thing. I use temporary adhesive, and you can kind of pull on it, and it kind of does that. You see that? And if you have, that's why the other thing, your paper needs to have some weight to it, or else it's not going to flip. And this paper is not like really good and flippy. Okay, so you see that? And so now we're taking this off because this is all temporary adhesive. I kind of just wanted to show you what you have to do. And here's some gorgeous paper. Oh, that's the paper that we're using. Okay, here is the belt. Okay, and the same thing. This is all just temporary adhesive. Okay, so what it says on the instructions, what I understood, that is first is the, let me move this one out of the way. Get all the little boogers off. Okay, so what I understand the instructions say first is you want to glue the mechanism, the rolling mechanism, to this part. Okay, so on my paper, because I have paper that is pretty and or like a little linen and then flat, so I'm using it this direction. Okay, so I am using wet glue for this. Really good is score tape, because the wet glue might go into the creases, and you do not want that. So you get this one here, and then you're going to fold this one over. You want to be as centered as possible on these 2 edges. Okay, that part is right there. And then this is our little mechanism. And here is where you want to have your really good creases. And you can sit here and crease them the best that you can. I love the tip of running them through the machine, because it is going to be just perfectly creased, and it is going to be nice and really flat. Okay, here is the this little mechanism. Okay, next you have your little belt. Okay, very easy, super easy to do. It's your little belt. And on the little belt, you have a crease here, or a score spot. But for me, the score is more of a little open hinge. It's not really a flat score. It looks much better on this one. Let me make sure you're here. Okay, so I like it more of a little hinge score than a flat score, okay? Because you want the paper to kind of run through it easily. okay? Now, this part gets glued to the back. Okay, so that this part is going to be the part that you hold here. When it's completely flat, you want to have your little belt to be on the bottom. And I realize this is probably not the best paper to do this on, all solid, but here we go. Okay, and then you're going to have this one, and so you're putting your little mechanism, okay? Your mechanism is going to be on top of your belt. So you have your mechanism flap, the belt, and then these little hands are coming around to the back. There is controversy between you want to put the belt on this side or you want to put the belt right here. Okay, I like it on this side, because you're going to be pulling it, okay? I don't like that. Something on my notes are, where is my other little paper book? Let's see, where is my little book? Here. It just doesn't pull on it. You have to have moving parts. So the top is glued, but that has to have a moving part to it. Interesting. So how did I do that earlier? Oh, thank you. Okay, this little flap for me are getting glued to a piece of paper. Okay. Let's just pretend it's going to be a 12 by 12 page. Okay. This is the paper that I am going to be putting this on here. This looks really sloppy. Let me find another paper. Here, this is the right. Nope, that's the one for tomorrow. There we go. Okay, loves. This little mechanism right here that we are holding on the back has to be freely flowing, okay? So when you fold this over, I'm going to attach this to the scrapbook, and the only thing that is gluing is these little pieces, okay? That's the only part that glues down, not the mechanism, not the flap that you're pulling, okay? So let's do that, and I'm going to do that with, what do we call it? Score tape, because it's super strong. Right here. Right there. Okay. Your little mechanism has the belt on it. You're gonna go around the little pulley, the pulley that is our pull on it. And now we have glue on here. And we're going down on the center. And I can feel your pain. You can't see a single thing that I'm doing. Let me get another color of paper. Of course, there's going to be pink paper right next to me, right? Okay. Right here, you're bringing this in, and you're going to put this right. Let me stand up so I can see how tall I am. Not. Okay, so the only thing that is holding onto our pink paper is the little belt parts, okay? So now this part can move. You see that? Okay, and the next part that you're gonna do is the glue part of our actual signature cards. I put one little row of glue on each little piece. Okay, we're going down with the red, and this is I cut it with the die from Crop at Home 1. And it fits perfectly on here, 2. And there, and let's put a little tiny bit more. You can use score tape for this. I prefer wet glue because to me, I feel like I can wiggle it around a little bit better if it's not perfectly sitting where it's supposed to, okay? Like all of these little pieces here, you want to have as even as possible, okay? And now you have this little part. And I'm showing you all the way around. You see that? I feel like I lost everybody. And I'm holding this part right here, and then you're gonna pull. And you're gonna have a picture on this, or you know, it could be your title page there, and then you flip it over, and it's gonna be a picture here, a picture here. Keep pulling, and here's where you really want to have nice, tight score lines because you want it to be able to fold over with every piece. Pulling it down. You want to make sure all of them are really nice and snug when you're going down, okay? Super easy to do. You just have to remember that the pulley does not attach to anything. Only the belt is the only part. You can see that here from the pink and the red. That's the only part that is holding on to the actual paper, okay? Because you need this part to move. I don't know if that's what the instructions tell you. I haven't read the instructions. And here, every time you move this up and down, you want to run it and make sure that you can really open these little pieces up. Before your glue gets dry, you want to make sure that all of these are snapping in really well, okay? So we're going to do that again because I know it's a little difficult, it's a little challenging to see. And I did not use this little piece. I kind of like it just the way it is. If you put this behind it, I don't know. I just like that, but you can use it. Do whatever you like to do. Okay, so now let's find the parts again that are on my very messy desk. As you can see, very messy desk, very messy. We're gonna do this one more time. Once you do it a couple of times, you'll be fine. I promise, you'll be fine. And we're gonna flip it over to this side so you can see it on the pink again. Okay, so I have here, I did 2 of them and I made one a little bit longer. Remember how we learned to do that? You hang the page, the little die off of your end of your, I'm looking for the belt. Oh, here it is. You hang it off of the magnet so that it doesn't cut. So I have one that is a little bit longer. Do you see that? And so now we can attach the belt to that. So I would cut 2 of them if you're not going to attach it to a scrapbook page, okay? And here is this part, and I have been running these through my impress so that they're nice and movable. And I'm not going to let the white core of this paper bother me because it is it bothers me. Okay, so let's take a look and see who's all with me while I glue, and you guys can see what I'm doing. 2 of these pieces, okay? Because this is acting as my scrapbook page. This one is this one I did 110 paper and I doubled it because to me I feel like it needs to be really strong, okay? First thing we do is attach the mechanism to the back with a little hinge. Super easy to do, just a little mechanism, a little wet glue. Let me see if I can read while I am gluing. How is everybody out there? Hello, Annie, how are you? I posted photos of what I did with Leon. Oh my gosh, I just saw something that you posted, but I don't remember what collection it was. I just saw some, they were absolutely gorgeous. Okay, right there. And yes, you can use score tape for this. instead of holding it down. Me Too, pages from Crop at Home 5. Yvonne, good to know. If you can remember, you know I am old as dirt. Marcy, hey y'all. Yvonne and Sandra, Annie, the Leon, Kaiser. Okay, so here is the mechanism. Here's the pulley. Here's the mechanism. Make sure that you have no glue to the back if you're using wet glue like I am, okay? Open it up and make sure you're clear. And now you have the heavy duty part and this one that is just a single 110, okay? Let me see where I see Rhonda and Marie and Sandra and Annie. Hello, hello, hello. Yvonne from my Kentucky and Yvonne from my California. Okay, here is the belt. The belt for me, the hinge needs to be a little bit thicker, if that makes any sense. You want it to be that mechanism to really float through there. So I like to kind of give it a little bit of love on here and make sure that you're going to be able to float that through. Do you see how that works? Let me see where my camera is. There we go. Okay. Hi Dale, how are you? Sandra, how are you? Okay, so now what's going to happen is this part, the top of the belt, okay, like this, is going to go to the back of this little mechanism. Okay, I like to put it on the very end. You can kind of go up, whatever you like. And we're going to put wet glue again because I like wet glue because it helps me wiggle it around and try to get it as straight as I can possibly do it. Not as straight as my sweet friend Eve. Eve has like precision eye, like she can see it's not correct. Like, yeah, okay. Here we go. So now you can see that your belt is on the back of your mechanism glued to it, okay? I have nice fat hinges so that I can really make sure that I can wrap the mechanism that we're pulling here, okay, to this part. Now I'm gonna hold this all down, little clippy here, and this one I did a little bit longer because I wanted to. I'll show you how we make one a little bit longer in a minute. Okay, so now we can glue this part to this part, and the only part you're gluing to this base is with the little belt legs, okay? These little belt legs are all you want to glue. Miss Marcy, are you with me? That's all you want to glue. So I'm bringing my little piece right here up to the top of my little hinge here. Let's make sure. And then I'm bringing my little legs on this side. Okay, I'm gonna put some wet glue on it because it's sloppy copy and score tape is pricey. And you know, we are all trying to pinch a penny or two or a dime. So I have glue. Okay, so now I'm bringing this down and I can hold, and the belt legs are on the scrapbook page, or what I'm calling my base page. Does the instructions have that? I don't know. Yeah, it says 2 of them, so I think it's correct. I am so glad you guys are here with me. I am really, it's been so much fun today. Okay, so now we have a base page, the little legs are attached, and this piece is now my mechanism to pull, okay? All right, let's see, because it's wet. Okay, so now you can see here is the part that is the base page, scrapbook page, whatever you want to call it. And now your pulley is this piece here, and you can pull. You'll still see the base page right there. Pull, and you can see how that is going. Okay, I'm holding this sideways so you can see what's happening here. Okay, your little legs got glued to the second piece of your mechanism base page. Okay, So this one could be a scrapbook page, it could be a card, it could be any loveliness that you want, okay? So now we're going to go and add 4 signatures to it. And I used the bigger ones, not the one that is included in there because, you know, I want more pages, more stuff to, more space. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see me okay. Alrighty. So I'm using, again, wet glue. And you just have to be careful, not too much. This is sloppy copy. I'm going to take this one. So you're doing a picture number 4, staying off of the hinge of that picture. Okay, and then when this one flips open, push, 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 push. My house smells like Burger City. I'm making burgers, sliders for dinner. They're in the air fryer. Okay, so I feel like it went a little bit crooked on me. So pull that up, you see? And we're going to put glue on this baby again. And hard to see because we are all working with the same color. Okay, so here is where we're putting this on. Okay, now I feel like it's even on that side, even if it's a sloppy copy, you want it to be nice. I want to come over for sliders. Come on down. They are my famous burgers. I make them from scratch, and then I freeze them. Okay, I didn't do them like today, but anyway. Okay, so now I'm pulling this up, and I'm gonna release just one of these right here. This is slider number, what do we call it? Slider. Signature card number 3, because we just put 4 down, okay? And we're bringing this one here, and now I can see better where it's even. And you kind of move this around here and here, so you can kind of play with this to see if you're even. And I have to stand up. I'm a sitter downer kind of scrapbooker, but sometimes you have to stand up. Okay, so now I'm bringing this over and making sure that my space is here dry. I'm pulling out the next one, making sure this is dry. And yes, you can go and use that little powder stuff. Okay, so now we're going to signature number 2. And we're putting it right here. And hold on to your little corners here on this space, here on this side. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to go to the instructions. Okay. All right, now you can pull on the mechanism and make sure that you are open on this side. What's everybody making for dinner? Let's see. You could not understand the instructions. Well, I didn't even try so much. How about that one? Okay, so now this is where signature number 1 is going to go. So we're putting this one right there. Now I would recommend, because these are going to be elements that are going to be pulled constantly, I would recommend that you do use score tape, but I am using wet glue for sloppy copy paper. Okay. It's coming out really good. I might have to use it. Okay. Let's make sure that one is there. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, so now remember, this is 110 paper. I recommend nice heavy duty paper. And my base, which is this little piece that we're pulling on the slide, is doubled. Okay, so now when you're folding, you pull, and you need to play with it and pull. because it has to get used to this little mechanism here. Okay, alrighty. So now we've got our mechanism working. Let's bring it back up. Okay, here's the base. Here's the little legs. Can you see those little legs now that they're white core paper? You can kind of see those little legs there. Okay, only little legs. I don't like putting them on the back because I feel like, you know, you keep the inside part mechanism. That's why this hinge is right there. Anyway, okay, there. And then you can put this part on a scrapbook, or you can just put it right onto the scrapbook. But now look at how my mechanism is working 100 times better than the sloppy copy that I have over here. You see that? Is this what you're coming up with? Then you need to massage your paper fibers better. You see that? You need to use better quality paper. You need to massage these down, because if it's not working for you, then you need better creases. Okay, and this one is glued down to scrapbook paper, so you don't need this base part. Now I do want to show you how I make this one longer, because I think it's kind of fun to make it as long as you want. And then I want to show you that I want to wrap this baby up. Okay, this is so funny to have this attached to this. That is the sloppy copy. Okay, now I am using this paper because this is my heavy duty paper, and somewhere I have my lovely dies. Does anybody have does anybody see my dies around here somewhere? I don't know where I put them. You know, this desk is like a blow up land. Okay, I mean it is. Let me let you guys help me find it. I wanted to show you how to make them longer. And I am using 110 paper. The 110 paper is the one that I am using for my sloppy copy paper. Yeah, we're looking for them. I think it's still on tape. Here they are. No, that's my celebration, which are my bows. St. Anthony, something's lost and can't be found. Martha's done lost something again. Tony, help me. I moved them. Here we go. Thank you, St. Anthony. Okay, here we go. Now I want to show you how I made my page a little bit longer. You can do any of this kind of trick to any of your dies. Make your dies work for you, okay? Now, I'm going to take this piece, and we're going to get a paper cutter. Now, if I look at this, it is probably close to 7. So I think a 7 would be good. Just like this. And cutting this down. I am having so much fun making borders. Oh, mamma mia. I have been making borders all day. I have not been doing any work at all in my house. That is, somebody should call my husband and tell him his wife has not been having any of her chores done. Because I have to play. Tomorrow I have to work. So I felt like I really had to play today. Okay, so this is the end of your edge of your die. Okay, here's your paper. You want this maybe, I don't know, maybe I want it really long, like this, okay? So this part you want to hang out. If you cannot do something like this, if it's too big to go inside of it, then let it hang off of your paper. And I want at least a little hinge. Maybe even make it bigger. I don't know. Let's just try it out. Okay, so here's this little cutting tool is going to be off of the edge of the paper. Okay, so when I sandwich this in, that little die is not in the sandwich. Do you guys see that? All right, now we're going to run it through. Yes, I use the extra long plates because they're new. And my plates are, ooh, so bad, so bad. Okay, so now when I get my sandwich back out, then you end up with, let me lift this part up, you end up with this, okay, like that. So you can continue to cut it with anything that you want. You can use scissors. Because it's a straight cut, you can do that, right? And there. And that's not like so perfectly straight, but guess what we can do? We can put this down on this side. And now the fancy part is going to be hanging outside of that. So I can cut it just perfectly straight right in there, okay? Now the only part that is cutting is that edge there. Yeah, thank goodness my husband already sent me a message saying that he's gonna be late. So thank goodness, because I have more time to play. More time to play with you guys, because I'm gonna miss you because I gotta go to work tomorrow. Okay, so see, all that we got cut off was that little funky part that was yucky, not straight. And you know, if you can fix it, you don't want it to be straight. Okay, now let's find our sloppy copy right here. This is now our sloppy copy. And now maybe I want it to be a little bit smaller, bigger than the actual part. I want to cover this all up. Okay, so let's get this all nice and pretty. And now you can fold it over to this side and give it a little bit of a score. That's going to be where you want to score in. I have a glass mat, so I can do that, and my score tape, my tool is one of those bone folders that you can kind of do that with. Okay, so now I can figure out how to do that, and I need to probably make it a little bit of a hinge because it's quite big. So we want that. And then I'm going to score it one more time, and this time I'm going to use a real score tool because I can see where it needs to be scored, and it's nice and pretty and straight. And this is again 110 paper, so you want to make sure that you can score really good. Okay, now I'm going to bring it in, oh, I don't know, a smidgen. What would that be considered, Annie Pence? Is that like 1/16, 1/8? I'm thinking this is a 1/8. It's a little bit more than a 16th. Okay, and there we go. So now we have that little hinge there. Okay. Yeah, I'm going back to work tomorrow, and my house is a hot mess. But I had fun. Okay, so now, because this is an extra, we're calling this the front. Now you can glue it to the base of the back. Look how pretty that is. Now it's all nice and pretty and covered. Because, you know, I like covered. I like nice and neat. Even if I can't make my pages perfectly straight like Eve's, I just don't have that brain. She's got brain power beyond brain power. So now we can do this. Are we together? Did I lose you guys anywhere? Let me bring this in a little bit closer so you can see. I want to make sure we're all together. Okay, so before we glue things, this is the base. The base is the part that is attached. Okay, the little feet are in here, glued to the base. The base of the pulley is double 110 paper, and I have creased and massaged that little mechanism, that little row, a lot. Like I'm not gonna say anything because nothing is coming out good. Yeah, okay, I have creased that as much as I can. Okay, so there's my mechanism. I like the way it's moving, and I'm kind of liking it all the way around. I might have to keep this sloppy copy. Okay, and then this is the base page that I made longer because all of this is just sloppy for me. And now we can make a cover face to it, and the cover is going to be on the base of it. Okay. Let me bring this baby in here. Yep. Okay. And now now we're going to add a little bit of glue to this very edge. And we're bringing it all in. And again, I have to stand because I've got to be able to see all this. You hold your little parentheses here nice and snug so that they're not moving away. Clothespins, my favorite tools in my scrap room. Who would have known? Okay, and then I can fold this part down. Yep, I'm holding my tongue right. Okay. How's it looking in the front? Okay, nothing that a little gold inking won't hide. Okay, loves, what do you think? I'm at 4:41 and somebody needs to go cook me dinner, or I have to go cook dinner. Okay, so what do you think? We did a lot, right? Give me some love. If you feel like this is beneficial to you and you have learned something, give me a thumbs up. Absolutely. It is helping my channel grow. It is helping the, let me remember what they told me it's called, algorithm. I don't know. But I so love being here with you guys, and I love how I know you guys are doing awesome. Okay, so here is, I know it's really hard to see because it's different, all the same color, but here's the front, okay? Here's my whole little flippy flappy mess here, okay? The little legs that we're calling a belt is right there. You can kind of see that. It is glued to this whole big long flap, okay? And the base pulley right here, this little baby, is double 110 paper, okay? And then you get to fold this whole little baby up, and guess what this is? This is a scrapbook, okay? I feel like all it needs is a beautiful, we need another belt on the top to put it in and out. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? One of those gorgeous little belts with all those fancy things that we have, right? Wouldn't that be fun to put a belt, and then you can gift it? Okay, so here is open, okay? And then you put a little, you put a little sign here that says pull. I don't know if I like this little thing. The little, I don't know. Anyway, I would put a bow because I like bows. And whoa, my hair is crazy. Okay, anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And you end up with extra pictures, extras. This can be an awesome little journal. I made my husband write my son a letter the day he was born. So something like this for a brand new birth, and a baby picture, and then of parents journaling of each picture on the back. Wouldn't that be so awesome to gift that little person when they're 25? I should give him that letter. Anyway, so here we go, babies. What do you think? Miss Marcy, are you happy? What do you think? Oh my goodness, my computer is spinning over here. I don't know if it's spinning with you, but I am so sorry. Oh, I'm not spinning on my iPad, or maybe I am. So I'm hoping that you guys all got that in. This is my little version of the instructions that are right here from our Anna Griffin pulley. Isn't that fun? I think we're ready to go. This would be gorgeous in patriotic colors. You know that I'm doing all patriotic stuff. I have them around here somewhere. I wanted to show you what I was coming up with, but I'm not going to show you, okay? But, okay, that's it. Those are secret stuff for my class coming up on May 31st. Zoom with me. Come join me. We are going to make extreme borders, like extreme borders. We're going to make at least 6. I'm on like about 3 right now. And then we're going to do a gorgeous title page from there, okay? And I can see that my little fan is going crazy. Okay, so what do you think? I love it. I just love it. It's way better than the sloppy copy I made earlier. So the big tips are that one pulley needs to be heavy duty, right? Oh, Angie, I can't wait also. This class coming is going to be so fun. Okay, so pulley needs to be heavy duty. Make an extra flap to cover your little book, and there you go. Hey, thank you so much. Please subscribe. Please leave me a thumbs up if you find that this video was useful for you. Thank you, and I'll see you later. I'm trying to do this on Thursday. Okay, bye. Have a great afternoon, evening. Bye.